Hey everyone, thanks for joining us once again for another YouTube painting video. I am Carl, as always joined with Dakota.
Hello, everybody.
So in this video, I got some of these Space Marine Heroes 3 quite some time ago. Dakota found someone selling them, I believe I think it was through Discord even, and he knew I was looking for some. Hit me up, and I've had these guys for probably about a year now, and I've wanted to make this display piece out of them. This is not a tremendously original idea. I mean, I saw I think it's Miniature Hobbyist um, on YouTube. He does a lot of fun stuff, and he did one of these kind of first with a one of the Blood Angels dudes, but he had like a laser cutter sort of deal that he made the frame and stuff out of, which I don't have, and I'm pretty sure more people have 3D printers than laser cutters at this point. So especially in our hobby.
Mm-hmm.
So I 3D modeled my own kind of case to put one of these in, and I know they got the little playing card with them, so I figured I can make a cool thing. So what you're seeing now, as I'm not going to touch too much on specifically what I'm doing to paint with. My mixture of green there is it is quite the mixture. It's like malignant green and goblin green by Game Colors, and then maybe a speed paint wash mixed in. I honestly I don't remember. I think I have a picture of it somewhere, but yeah, this is where we're currently at with Nurgling. We'll keep an eye on him because I spend a lot of time trying to get these skin tones right. But we got the green. We hit it with a is it hardened leather, I believe. Speed paint. That's what I always do for my bronze, and we'll come back and hit that with like a little kind of bronze dry brushy thing later. And yeah, hitting the gun casing here with black. I'll hit that with some silver in a bit. But just trying to make this this kind of display piece to hang up instead of actually taking the model out and playing with it, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting, concept of just like painting this on the sprue, doing all this, and then kind of just using it as more of like a display piece and everything. Um, it's interesting. For myself, I don't know if I could do that. I'm more of a I want to paint something up and then like throw it on the table and use it, even if it only gets used like a couple times. I mean, I think we all have those models where we're like, oh yeah, and then the next thing you're like, I haven't used this thing in like 2 years. So
There's a current look at our skin tones. We went from like a traditional bone kind of paint to the alchemy purple, I believe it's called, which is actually like a pink speed paint, and then went back over it with some of that bone and just kind of wet blended in some of the high spots. This is Zealot Yellow. I like this for picking out like the pustules and the pox marks and those sorts of things. But yeah, as far as painting it and not playing with it, we'll see. I mean, you get to play a lot more than I do. So
for sure. I mean that yeah,
maybe
that's
that factors in a bit. Paint his big old fat tongue yellow. We come back later and realize that it's a tongue.
I was gonna say, is that a
Pink.
tongue or is that like a sword?
So I was I've never painted on a sprue before.
Mhm.
I've never even painted in pieces. I've always built the models and painted them afterwards because my thought is always like, well, if you can't see it when it's built, like it doesn't need
Yeah,
to be painted.
for sure.
It's um
Yeah, I've been even myself. I'll be painting a model in a spot I'm painting. I'm looking at it, going, I'm never gonna see this again. And then I
right,
take that back, set on the table, and go, I can't see what I'm trying to hit right now.
right.
Like,
Like, is anyone really interested in what my Space Marines taint looks like?
I mean,
It's
it would be surprising sometimes.
touche. Um, Here we're coming in with tarnished brass by Reaper paints. Um, this is my go-to for the bronze brass death guard bits. I put this over top of that hardened leather. But yeah, so a combination of painting this on the sprue. Also I recorded this on my new phone because I wanted to do a video in 4K. I'm not even 100% sure we can. I don't actually, you know what? I don't think we can post 4K videos yet to YouTube. Now that we're on the subject, I don't think you can post 4K until 1,000 subscribers. Hey, everyone watching this, please subscribe so I can post videos in 4K.
If we can't post it in 4K, we're gonna post it in like old analog resolution.
Yeah, you guys are
real
getting
bad.
240p. Congratulations.
And then once we can in 4K, we'll re-release it in 4K.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, the heartache we've gone through to put this in 4K.
This is actually like our third time recording it as well.
Yeah, it's like day 2 of trying to record this because of 4K. Okay, I'm gonna get over this 4K thing. All right, so we did slap shop this guy, and I'm coming in with just some apple barrel black and cleaning up the sprue. We did hit the whole model with I think like dark tone or something. I just wanted to tie it all together, and I put it on like the skin tones and was like, oh, it looks really cool. And then I just decided to hit everything with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that honestly it adds like I don't know if it's in your regular green formula. I think that added a little bit of like grunginess to the whole model. I know you slap chopped it, so you don't really need to shade it, but I think it just added like an extra.
So it is not in my regular green formula. That's part of. We'll have a video coming up on how many different color schemes I have for Death Guard at this point. There's our Nurgling. I'm pretty happy with that skin tone compared to where it was when I first just slap chopped it and hit it with the Crusader Flesh, I think is the Armor Painter skin tone. So, and then I've started to come up with an idea for how it was. So here's the case. I modeled this thing so I can put, and I'll put links to the lights and then the hangy thing. I got these off Amazon. So it fits in here. It's got a little switch. I actually left this on last night when we got done recording because I was so frustrated. I came down this morning and it was still on. And I was like, hey, these things got a heck of a battery with them. I'm in shambles. Left my hot glue gun on for 30 hours. You'll see that. So the light's going to run through that hole and it's going to run along the inside of that frame there. And then I got these little hangy things, 50 of them, which I don't think I'll ever need, but they're cheap on Amazon. So we got these little, I think they're called fairy lights. Very delicate little like copper wire, and then just these tiny LEDs that are on here. It's got some tangles. I'm trying to be delicate, but
I think you could light a Christmas tree with how long that wire is.
Oh my god! It I wanted to make sure it would get around a couple of times, and honestly, I don't know that I would 100% recommend these ones, but they will fit the print. I do wish they're a little brighter. That's what I was telling some people in Discord. I posted it. I said I'm 94% happy with it. And someone replied, and they're like, it looks like 100% to me. And I was like, I wish the lights were a little brighter. So I'm hot gluing this in because hot glue is really good at being temporary. And I know that I'm going to want to, so I hot glued it really far forward so that I had some slack. And then later I can undo the hot glue, slide it all the way to the back, and hopefully take some of that slack out. And then I hot glue kind of the wire to the casing here just because I don't want to like pull on it and hurt anything.
Right.
So we get that in there. Like I said, hot glue is really mistake friendly because you can pretty much let it cool, pick it off, and it's not a big deal. We fast forward to this part. Took like almost 10 minutes because it's just this dainty little wire and it runs around a couple of times and you got to kind of hold it in between each little gluing and blow on it to cool it, and it won't take 10 minutes.
Do you think you could have used a different type of adhesive on this portion and it worked just as well? I mean, I know you usually go with the hot glue when you're doing like different textures together because it just works. I mean, it's good. I mean, obviously we're talking about it and it's effective and it's good at going from like plastic to wood or even like metal to plastic or resin or whatnot. But do you think you could have used something else?
I think super glue would have probably worked better, especially I've been using the gel Gorilla
Mhm.
Glue. I
Yeah.
went away from their regular super glue. I went to the gel one, and I've been liking that a lot. I didn't want to use that much of it,
Right.
and I wasn't sure how much I would use. Got the lights all run through. I turn them on there to make sure they still work, because why would that not have? I have more time in this project than I have literally any project before, and there we go. So there's the lights. I'm like, okay, I think those look pretty cool. So we'll get the model in here. This one I dab a little super glue on, and then someone else on Discord had a really good idea about. They're like, oh, could you put a piece of paper kind of in that space behind the model? And I was like, you know what? It actually would take next to nothing to like 3D print like thin little inserts that you could go back there, but you wouldn't be able to super glue this on. This would have to be different, which you almost don't need to glue the model in at all. It sits in there pretty
Mhm.
well. And I was afraid of damaging the card, so I sticky tacked it. Was hoping that would work. We'll get to that in a minute. Uh, and then these are the little hanger things. They do kind of separate the two pieces as you do them, so you just got to keep tightening them down, and it sucks them back together.
Did you put in like pilot holes?
Nope. No, I was afraid of the screws not having anything to bite on, because these
Okay.
are like hollow with just like a
Yeah.
thin, like 15% infill. Yeah, the
Mhm.
card fell out.
Right.
Um, and then I'm like, well, A, what the hell am I ever going to use this card for anyways? And B, I don't think hot glue is going to damage the card. So we hot glue that in there too. Um, if this video, when this video gets 100 likes, I will upload this STL to Thingiverse, or I've never uploaded anything to cults before, but I will upload this if other people would like to kind of mimic this. But not till 100 likes. So send it to your friends, send it to your family, and tell them they don't even have to watch it. Just go give it a thumbs up. And they can unthumbs it once I upload it. So here we peel this, I slide it back, um, re-hot glue it in, and then I just kind of tuck the wire in. I don't think it really needs to be tucked into the space because of the hangy thing on the back. Like, you do have a little gap
Mhm.
probably along the wall. Like, if you just super glued this in the middle there, I don't think it would be an issue. But I do kind of just finagle it around and try to tuck it in that space a little bit, just
Yeah.
for the sake of doing so. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Anything else, Dakota?
No, I mean, I think this is a pretty interesting like concept. I know we've seen other people do it. I think this is awesome. Like you obviously went through and modeled this whole frame for it, so it can be a little different, and you can throw lights into it. And I mean, I think it looks good. Obviously, I know you're talking about putting a picture. You could put a picture. I think even with yours, you could just put like a thing behind it inside that inset area if you wanted to. Like
So
you could
one
throw in
thing
like
I
some.
considered was actually doing like trying my hand at like actually like doing a small canvas painting
Mhm,
and doing like a toxic sky kind of
mhm,
thing.
yeah,
I've been meaning I have a bunch of small canvases that actually come with all the dice trays, so I have
mhm.
100 of them, and I've been meaning to break them out one of these days and just play with the kids and get some paints out. And I was going to try to do like the toxic sky sort of thing, but yeah, it's on the list.
Right, yeah,
That
mhm,
that list
yeah.
gets longer every time I turn around and I come up with a new idea, I think.
Right.
So yeah, thanks for checking out the video. I'm sure there's going to be lots of people that didn't watch the whole video. They're going to be like, can we get the file? Can we get the file? And I'm going to tell them at 100 likes, I'll post it. But uh, share this, send it around if you want the STL, and we'll get it out there. I'd love to see what other people can do with it. And thanks for hanging out for week 2 of 6 weeks of Slap Chop. Next week, Dakota has another Space Marine color scheme coming.
It might not be on a Space Marine.
Okay, might not be on a Space Marine. Ooh, and I have my Plague Burst Rhino on its way. That will be, I believe, my next week's project. So
Nice.
stick around for that. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out, everyone. and we'll see you later.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.